Apije sukuye poe. Mama sae. Woi. Goro vitore. Goro gado. Apije sukuye poe.
Ik ben benieuwd naar het dorpje Kromanti, waar veel van onze voorouders weggehaald zijn. Daarom moeten wij Steven Kosa, die er geboren en getogen is. Kromanti.
This is Kromanti, and I'll now take you to see my family. The settlement actually started from the top of the hill, and later they all moved down here.
Yeah.
So the real family house is at the top of the hill. But this is where my grandmother settled. And that is my auntie.
Okay.
She comes after my mother. And she is the only one left at home now, you know, of the mother level. The rest are all children, grandchildren, and the like. And that is the daughter of my auntie. And as usual, they're all fishmongers, and the male are fishermen.
Right.
Yes. And this was built by my grandmother. Unfortunately, she's dead. And about 2 years ago, she died. Yeah. And my senior auntie took over. She also died just about 6 months ago. Yes.
Is that stone?
No, this is mud. It's a mud house.
Okay.
Yes. If you look up there, you see that there's a settlement up there on the hill. That's the old township of Kromanti. It was actually started by a hunter called Nana Komer. So one day he went out, and fortunately for him, he killed an elephant. So he followed this elephant all the way from where he killed the elephant to the top of this hill, where the elephant was found dead by him. So he stayed there, built a hut, and started his settlement there. So his people felt he might have been killed by an animal. So they sent a search party with drums. The moment they got nearer to this hill, they saw blood stains on leaves. So they followed the stains, so they got to where the elephant was lying, and there they found him. So like reprimanding him, they remarked, so after all that we've told you, and when you come back home, you've just decided to go your own way. And in the local language, it is Komel Anti Zayaka Choninara. So that remark they made, like Komel Anta, became the name of the village Kromanti. My auntie was knocked down here by a car, and she died instantly. We go along this way.
When we drove, you know, I saw Fort Amsterdam.
It was the English who came here first. And with the consent of the natives, they built a fort at where it is. And later it was seized by the Dutch. They named it Fort Amsterdam. So people were carried away from this Fort Amsterdam, especially to the Caribbean islands.
You know, in my country, in Suriname, when they're talking and people are in spirit, you know, they start speaking Kromanti. That's the highest spirit is there.
That's
what
right.
Say.
So,
you know about Suriname? Or no?
yes, I know about Suriname, at least something about Suriname,
You heard
something
about
small.
Winti?
Not to that extent. But we have more information on European countries than about our own brothers and sisters who are sent to the diaspora. And this is about time, perhaps, we have to start linking up. So we know whatever happened there, then we add it to whatever happened here. We also give you whatever happened here, so we also add it to whatever happened there. So it becomes one whole, complete.
Okay.
Because it's not half-half. It have to be one.
But you never been there?
No.
Okay.
No. Maybe someday, sometime.
Okay.
Who knows?
You never know.
What is this? Yeah, that is the Roman Catholic Church in Kromanti. Yes, and this is about the oldest of the Christian churches in this village. And that is also one of them. I think there's the Assemblies of God. Also the Pentecost down there. And according to we have the 12 apostles. So we've got a few Christian churches here.
Over there, there's the sea. And from there, the boats came in. We can say that they brought about 100 up to 200 slaves. But in the whole 300 years, what we catch here is about 250,000. 250,000. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But at the end of slavery, when they called for emancipation in 1863, 36,000 left. Yes.
But on the whole, we had not less than 60 million Africans being enslaved.
Okay.
With only 12 million successfully crossing the Atlantic.
Now we are turning, going in the Kromanti River. And on the Kromanti River, there you have the plantations.
Shall I see my home? My home, my home. When shall I see my little heart? I shall never forget my.
We are about 2 hours now on boat with the motor. By that time, maybe 5, 6 hours rowing.
Yes.
And then they arrive. And when they arrived, then the work starts. We will go to Allianz. It was a former sugar plantation. Yeah. Now in the front, you can see the manager's house. It is a little bit in a bad shape, but imagine what it was during the time of slavery and after that. And here's the place where he stayed with his family. Nowadays they grow citrus, but in those days it was sugar cane.
Because they love sugar and rum, huh?
Well, in Europe for sure.
Yes.
And they could trade it.
Yes.
And with that money they make huge houses in Europe.
But
for
it was the
example.
slaves who worked to
true.
produce the sugar and rum.
That's true. I agree with you. They had to work 24 hours a day, for example, when it was harvest time. So there was no need to sleep in a house, just to rest a little bit.
Yeah. And in such houses like this?
Like this. It was used for the slaves, yes. A lot of them.
In a row, huh?
In a row, yes. A lot of them, with one entrance. But they worked. It was only work and die. This is a tamarind tree. I think it is more than 200 years old. The tree was used also to bind up slaves on it and then punish them. So we see that there was a lot of hard work, hard labor on the plantation. Mistreating, torture, frustration. And then you can understand that on a certain point, there's no return. That they say, enough is enough. And
So they have to flee.
That's true. They will leave the plantation and look for their freedom, go to the interior and live there like free men, far away. And then they came back to attack the plantation, to put the factories on fire, to take the women with them, and to look for weapons and so on. We are now at Choli. It's about 200 kilometers from Paramaribo.
The people of Kromanti were warriors. That blood was in them, fighting. On the boat they were fighting, on the sea they were fighting. For the women, they wouldn't allow themselves to be raped. So they better commit suicide by just jumping overboard. And here when they came here too, they were fighting. So they carried this across.
Maroons, they use the knowledge of the Amerindian very well to adapt the situation. The Amerindians know how to walk in the interior, how to use the plants, and so on. So they got friends, and they formed a front against the oppressors. When the emancipation came in 1863, they left the farthest way in the jungle to come and live nearby the river. So what you can see that at this moment we have a lot of Maroon villages along, for example, the Suriname River. So we are now at Adapai.
Adapai?
Yeah, it is a Maroon, a small Maroon village where you can meet the real Kromanti people of the river. The Kromanti Maroon. You can find it?
Yeah, Oscar boy.
This now.
Okay.
I'll go.
Monsieur,
Mama.
come on, Daddy. Chikombo.
Mama, how
Beshani. Onyolele. Boto nani ota.
I'm gone.
Agan.
I'm gone.
Say gone.
Gone.
Gan.
Gone.
Gan.
Gone.
Bata. Tobete. Sokonili.
Boko.
Zakadado.
Ah, yes, I've come back.
Satoto.
Yes. I am Kosa.
Bididiam Mubai.
From Mumbai.
Tatarele Twanu.
Katibo Yeye.
Sakala de Rodida. Besano?
One brand new Dawson.
Wow, we call the day.
Okay.
Tabadada.
Mantina Himfa.
Tovio Hunter. Now we.
Bempe Bia Mantina.
Nasaka no Matina. Oh, Danawi.
Matina.
Tata guitar. So, Osakroven Nana.
Matina.
Oh, no way. Dewo. Tiwai.
We still can communicate. You know.
Okay.
That is wonderful.
Kao.
Mama Jae, Goravito, Gorogado, Happy Sukuye Poe. Thank you.
Maroons of Moortown in Portland are descendants of runaway enslaved Africans on the plantations of Jamaica. I, as a linguist, became interested in the community on reading a 1981 article by Kenneth Bilby entitled How the Older Heads Talk. The article suggested that in addition to regular Jamaican Creole, there were two other languages in use in the community. One language was Kromanti, clearly related to the Akan language cluster spoken in modern-day Ghana. This language was used by the Maroons to communicate with their African-born ancestors. The other language was Maroon spirit language, as Bilby called it, or as the people called it, old-time Patwa. That language they used to communicate with their Jamaican-born ancestors. My question was this for real? No linguist before or since has ever recorded in Jamaica a language like Maroon spirit language. It was so different from regular Jamaican Creole and so similar to the Creole languages of Suriname that one couldn't help but ask the question, did Bilby make this thing up? So, with the permission of the Maroon Council in Moortown, we headed into the John Crow Mountains of Portland to investigate this language. Mr. Isaac Bernard, one of the older heads still alive, opened the window through which we could hear and see how the older heads talk. The rain had fallen the night before and most of the day. It had stopped falling just around 4 p.m. when the colonel, along with some other Maroon guides, took us on the 1.5-hour trek to Comfort Castle, where Mr. Isaac Bernard lived. Grandi Coto Grandi, the Maroon name for the Rio Grande River, and all its tributaries were in full swing.
There was water everywhere, shooting out of every crevice in the hilly terrain. Maybe that was a good sign, since we had gone to research the language of Mr. Bernard's ancestors, Kromanti. We had traveled with the rum necessary to keep the ancestors happy, and nature was giving us the other means of doing so, the water.
Mr. tell you that?
You tell me?
No.
You no tell me?
No.
What make?
Mr. Bernard and the culture he represents is not just skilled in communication, it also places a high value on silence.
Mr. Taka everything to Goni.
Yeah, you know Sataka everything.
Chamu ye too.
Yeah, no so.
That term was often translated to us as talk some, leave some, which means that some things are better left unspoken.
Anyway, they like to see what one. When you know I come up here, you don't miss nobody.
Where? Yeah, so?
No.
But well, you see enough people? Enough summer, plenty summer.
Summer walk away, you come in.
Summer walk away.
You say, and don't know so enough for summer was a language. There are some good girls here with you. I mean, like them. But you want to then near me. You look at me special. At the left hand.
Okay. Are we can left hand? You love him?
Aye. Boy, don't know me, oh, you say some days another dasher, you know me, you say. I don't want to let you go away. And I want to tell the inhabitants that they gotta go away from him. And him sing and call and tell him that they gotta go. You hear the word them sing, said what? Breaking gotta go, man, you don't know me. Gotta go away from him and I know him. I want to do for him now, good enough. So he said, some days another, you know, you wish when you feel it. Some days another dasha, you know me. Some days another, you know me. Oh, say some days another body boy, you know me. You say, can you ma? I want you to say, yeah. I want you to say, what did they make you? Can you ma? Let me tell you, you ma, can you ma? Me tell you, can you ma, can you ma? Let me tell you, you ma, can you ma? So you think I go taka no? You sabi auntie? You sabi? When you do ya, you say come call you. Remember, call burger na goli boy. You do ya, you say come call you. Remember, call burger got no money ya. You do ya, you say come call you. Remember, call burger na very long. You do ya, you say come call you. You sabi? I don't sabi. No sabi. One thing in accent in a sonti and no sabi in a sabi. You always sabi sonti.
We sabi sonti.
You want sabi sonti?
Me sabi.
You sabi? Okay. Now, me not both a man, you know, but we got one little something. And sometimes he talk to me too.
You talk to yourself?
Yep. Hello? Yeah. Good evening. Well, having business are different something from this. Now this is a bugle for the Maroon. And whenever time we have a message to send, we send it by this. By talking in our language. Oh dear, but you have to learn the language to know what I say.
What language is that, Kromanti?
You got Kromanti language. We got Timbambo, we got Yang, we got Dokose.
That's all of them.
Windandu.
Windandu?
Windandu, Dekose.
Windandu?
Kromanti. When I went last, we over there. We blow this. Tell them same last. And when we go there, when somebody go there, find him. He went blue and tell me, say them find him. When I find him, he tell me, say, me sure you. That means I see the man. If he's alive, I say, me sure you. Me see a man be. Me see the man alive. If he's dead, I say, oh, you. Me see you. Me see your mandi. And me see your mandi pete. That means he's dead. Chamu yetu.
So, I mean, when you and other speakers and the colonel here, dies, how is the heritage going to carry on?
Well, I want to tell you, it is not one section, No. You have Hampong Tong, you have Skachal, you have Chaspong, and you got Motown. So it's not one place. So when one don't say it, the other say it.
So wouldn't you want to continue the heritage in Motown?
In Motown? Yes. And we are going to do it. We are going to continue.
When Mr. Bernard and the one or two other tradition bearers leave us, who will be there to speak the half that should be spoken? Will the Kromanti language and its traditions survive in the presence of all the trappings of modern life, such as the mobile telephone?